On this episode of the Nationwide Real Estate Mastery Podcast, we sat down with Andrew Lucas to uncover how to successfully be the local buyer in your market. Welcome to the Nationwide Real Estate Mastery Podcast, where we provide actionable steps to help you get your first or next real estate deal. Now, during this episode, you'll discover exactly how to be the local buyer in your market. Now, for those of you who are new to the show, my name is Shaun Young, today's host, and I love all things real estate. Now, before I introduce you to our incredible guest speaker today, I want to make a request that if at any point in this show you like what you're hearing, please give us a thumbs up or subscribe to the show so that you never miss an episode. And to make sure, take a look in the description of this episode as we've packed it with thousands of dollars in free resources. All right, today we have the privilege to learn from a man who, prior to his career in real estate, he was in the hospitality industry running hotels up into 2018. But all that changed when he and his wife realized that they could live off of the cash flow from rental properties, not just retire from it. I would describe our guest as someone who prides himself on good old Southern hospitality with a true go-giver spirit. I'd like to introduce you guys to the one, the only, Andrew Lucas. Andrew, thanks for being a guest on today's show, brother.
Hey, man. Thanks, Shaun. I appreciate it. I love that intro, man. That's too kind. I love it.
Well, we're excited to have you, man. Can you tell our listeners just a little bit about your background and, where you come from?
Absolutely. So, Southern hospitality, man. I'm here in good old Columbia, South Carolina. I actually haven't gone far from here. I lived a little bit, but it was only like two years I was outside of this city. But grown here, and like you said, I started in hospitality. In high school, was working in golf courses and restaurants, and went to college for hospitality and was managing hotels up until 2018. Got my first rental property back in 2007, straight out of college. I didn't know what I was doing, but it was a house hack. Who knew? And that just led us into eventually after getting married, and we had 2 kids and one on the way. We had about 4 rental properties, and my wife and I were trying to figure out how to get out of what we later found out was the rat race from Robert Kiyosaki. We realized that that's what we were in, and we were heading down a road that we didn't really like where it was headed. We did not like the road of me being in hospitality, being a manager of hotels, in multiple hotels, and what that would look like for us with 3 kids. And my wife was a director in a financial services company, an insurance company. So she had a high stress job. We just didn't like the road we were headed down. Mm-hmm. And we just knew we had some rental property. We just didn't know how to live off of that. We didn't know how to make it a business that we could live today on. And so that's when we found a book called Hold from Gary Keller and then Robert Kiyosaki. We said, there is something here, guys. Let's figure this out. And 2016, we made that decision that we were going to work towards buying enough rentals that my wife could step away from her job. Turns out we both did. 2018, we both quit our jobs, and we're both full-time real estate investors and business owners right now.
Nice. Man, sounds like you've had quite the experience there. Now, when you said you had your first house and you house hacked it, was house hacking even a thing back then, or was that just something?
No, man, that wasn't a thing. Nobody had that term. Yeah, so it was just I moved back home with my parents for like 2 months. And I was like, this is awful. I was out of college and I didn't know what to do, where to go. I was like, I didn't want to rent anymore, so I said, I'm going to see if I can buy a house. And I was talking to my roommate from before. I was like, hey, would you rent if I got a house? He's like, yeah, I'll rent the room. I was dumb. We ended up taking a 3-bedroom house, tearing down a wall so we could have a party room. This is obviously not a smart investment strategy. So we turned it to a 2-bedroom. But I mean, he was still covering the mortgage, right? It didn't matter really to me because it was a first time home buyer credit. I actually bought that house with, when people talk about no money down, I actually got a check for $300 back when I closed on that house.
So even better.
And he was covering the mortgage. Yeah, it was even better. So, but I did that for about 10 months and then I got a job out of town. And so we ended up turning that playroom back into a 3rd bedroom. So I was renting it to a 3-bedroom to other students at that point. So it wasn't a thing. House hacking wasn't a thing, but it was, that entrepreneurial-ish spirit, I guess, where I knew that I didn't want to pay anyone else rent. I knew that these landlords were making money. At least I thought they were. And I said, well, how am I going to do this? 2007, the bank, I mean, I wasn't making any money. I was straight out of college and they still gave me the loan. I was like, sure, why not? Let's do this. So it worked.
Nice, nice. Hope you guys were taking notes out there. Now,
man,
Lucas,
and they still have these first-time homebuyer credits. Let me tell you, you can still, in cities especially, they want people to buy homes. They want to increase home ownership, and you can go to the state housing authorities or whatever, or there might be some nonprofits, and you can get down payment assistance beyond what just the VA has out there, which is pretty good too. So I always encourage people to look, see what's out there.
Phenomenal advice. Phenomenal advice. Definitely appreciate that. Well, Andrew, let me ask you this, brother. Before we dive into the steps on how to be a local buyer in your market, you contribute a lot of your success to your ability to be able to connect with people, who are doing this business. Why do you think that's played such a big role in your success?
And there's so much to that, and I think part of it is just the mentality of being able to humble yourself and to know that you don't know everything, and to be okay with that, and be okay asking questions and asking people for help, and then listening, of course, but connecting with people in our local market and across the country. I mean, that's how you and I met, is connecting with other people that are doing this business, that are 2, 3, 4, even 10 steps beyond where I am. A few reasons that it helps you understand what is possible and what's real. So social media is one thing, but when like you and I were sitting in a room with people that have done millions of dollars in real estate, and I'm like, I can do that. I'm not there yet, maybe, but I can get to that. Or a newbie is sitting in a room with somebody his own age that has 2 rental houses. That just changes your mindset and says, oh, this is possible. This is real. And then when that gate is open, then you start learning and connecting with people that can help you get through those steps. So that has been pivotal in our success, is connecting with other investors, other leaders. They don't have to necessarily be in real estate, but successful people in our market that are doing things. I encourage everybody, go to your local RIA, go to your meetups, right? Find one on meetup.com. There's got to be one near you. Just go to it. Start connecting.
Start connecting and getting involved, man. I love that. Love that piece of advice. It's definitely important. If you're going to be in the business, you got to know who the players are in your business so that you can become one. Now, Lucas,
yeah, 100%.
I mean, Andrew, excuse me, brother.
You're good.
Let me ask you this: how does your organization look right now? Is it you and your wife running the business? Do you guys have a team? How are you guys running things right now?
Yeah, so we've got a couple of businesses that are running right now, and the main thing, our marketing arm, which is started as wholesaling in 2018. That's what I did. I said, I'm going to be a wholesaler. That'll replace my income. And so we started a wholesaling business, and that brings in all the leads and all the deals into our sphere. And so that wholesaling business has 4 associates. We have 2 acquisitions and a dispo manager, and then kind of like a assistant, I guess you will. In that business, and then a VA that runs with the marketing and those types of things. We then have retail agency, so like a retail brokerage with 4 agents that work under there. And then we are flipping houses, and we don't have any we subcontract all the flip work. We don't have any associates on that team, but my wife runs that. She runs the flipping company where she's doing, gosh, I think there's like 10 houses on the board right now.
Nice.
And so she's project managing all that. She's doing the design. And we own rental properties, and we don't manage those. So we have a couple of different property managers that take care of that. I think that's it. I think that's where we're at. We have REI Live. So REI Live is our networking and education platform here locally that we started because of like I just said earlier, like networking is what got us here. So we started that, and we do that locally. And there's no team for that. That's just us getting together and teaching and sharing.
And that's local in your area. So if you guys are listening, make sure that you check REI Live out. Definitely connect with Andrew and get involved with REI Live, because like you said, you got to get involved with your local community.
Oh yeah.
Are you licensed? Are you or your wife licensed? Are you guys doing this without a license? How does that look for you?
I do have my license. I ended up getting it. Thankfully, this is one of the good things that came from COVID, is that they allowed you to do it online. Because I was never going to get a license if I had to sit in class for 2 weeks. But they allowed you to get it online. And so I did it. And now I'm licensed. That allowed us to start the retail agency. So without my license, we couldn't have done that. So that's where that came from. So I don't actually.
Blessing in disguise.
That's right. Right. You gotta find some good stuff. But I don't actually list and do that. That's what the team is for.
How do you guys go about finding your deals right now?
So our marketing arm is our base where we started is going out and doing postcards. So that was the beginning of it. Okay. Our paid marketing. The way that we got our first few deals, and the way that still brings in 35% of our deals, is through networking and referral base. And that is being that local investor that we talk about. Mm-hmm. And then we also have our TV commercials. So those are our 3 big lead generators. Marketing, paid marketing is the TV and the postcards. And then our referral base brings the other third. So
nice. How do you guys separate yourselves from competitors in your local market? What do you feel like you guys are doing different that's bringing you guys to success?
I think it boils down to who we are as a company, and our what we stand for. And it's bred from my life in hospitality. Is we are here to serve our clients, and we don't just want to do a deal and be gone. We're not just here to buy their house and then we never see them again. Like, we go through this with them. So the way we teach our acquisitions team is, you're not in a negotiation across the table from these sellers. You're sitting on the same side of the table with the sellers, and and visualize yourself sitting on the same side of the table with, going over the details, trying to figure out what works for them. How do we solve this situation with them so that everyone can win, and it's cliche, win-win situation, whatever. But that's what we're going for, because, and literally when I'm on the phone with sellers, I tell them, because they'll, often they'll ask, oh, you're just going to give me a low ball offer, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, look, our business it only works if we buy properties. And I can't buy your property if you're not happy with the offer. So how do we get to a place where it's something that you can accept and we can eventually make a profit from, right? So we have to be together. And so that's how we treat our clients, is we're on the same side of the table. We all are here together. We are a local house buyer here in town. We're not leaving. So our reputation is paramount. So we're going to treat everybody with respect. We want everyone that we work with to leave that situation saying, I will tell my mom, my dad, my brother, my cousin to use you because this was a great experience. That that changes the way you talk to people, and it changes the way they see you and your company.
They see you as someone who's actually there to help versus someone who's just there to make a profit. Which
Yeah.
everyone knows you're in business for a profit, but man, it definitely goes a long way
Oh, yeah.
when they feel like you're in it for like you say, to make sure that everyone comes out happy on the other end.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we have, like I said, when you put TV commercials on, you're kind of opening up yourself for criticism, ridicule, or whatever, haters, if you will. So we have to live to a standard that says when people leave our communication or leave our conversations, they still feel like we are good people. And so that's how we treat everybody.
Man, I love it. I love it. A big question that I'm sure a lot of our listeners out there are wondering is, man, how much does it cost you to run an operation like this per month?
Ooh, for the marketing,
Yeah, for the marketing, monthly marketing expenses.
yeah, for like I put it, I'm doing air quotes right now. You can't see it, but the wholesale business, because we don't necessarily wholesale these deals that come through because we buy them ourselves and we flip them, but we will quote wholesale some. But yeah, that business runs. I mean, it's $50,000 a month when you take in salaries and commissions and that sort of thing. As far as the marketing expenses, TV is a $10,000 a month, and the postcards we send about 10,000. I think it's 2,500 a week, so 10,000 postcards a month. So that's roughly $5,000 a month expense there. But then we have some PPC going. We have our website. You got a lot of little expenses that add up in there. So yeah, we basically run through about $50,000 a month in expenses.
Got it. Understood. Now, guys, for our listeners out there, what makes the Nationwide Real Estate Mastery podcast unique again is because we share actionable steps to help you guys get to your first deal. And our guest today, Andrew, is definitely has provided some great tips for us so far and some key takeaways. And he's also generously allowed us to offer you guys a free giveaway that's going to be in the notes section as well. So make sure you guys check out the notes in the description to see what that giveaway is going to be. And guys, make sure that you reach out to Andrew because as you can see what he's doing, he knows what he's doing. He's nailed it down. He's been able to scale it. But Andrew, let me tell you this. I can promise you a lot of our listeners probably just heard that 50K monthly expense and they were like, oh my goodness, how could I ever get to that level? Can you help us? Can you break that down for us on how you would suggest someone who's just getting started to be the local buyer in their market and do it just what you're doing? What's the best way to get that started?
Absolutely. And I love kind of talking about this because it is so everyone can do it. I don't want to say easy because it's easy, but no one actually does this. Well, the reason people don't do it is because it takes consistency, right? So it's easy in concept, but you got to be consistent with it to make this actually happen. But yes, we talked about $50,000 a month. Like, don't even have that in your brain. That shouldn't be anyone's goal. Your goal should never be, I want to spend $50,000 a month. No, your goal should be what kind of revenue are you going to bring to your family, to your bottom line. And so to become that local house buyer, it starts with what I talked about earlier, that mindset of we are here to serve our community. We are going to work inside of our community with our network to help other people. And literally we're solving people's problems by using real estate as a tool to get there. Okay. So whatever their issue is, it just so happens they also own a piece of real estate that can help them get to solving that problem, no matter what that is. So with that mindset, you then go in and you share the news. And so what the actionable steps, I want to share these actionable steps with you and your listeners so that they will go out there and get a deal. And what we found through coaching and teaching and just sharing our message through our REI Live group and some of our private clients is that the first couple of deals almost always seem to come from within arm's reach of our clients or our students or just our friends out there. For instance, like the first deal I got, I found it driving around. The second deal I got was from a house right across the street from that one where it ended up going vacant. The guy passed away, right? So the deals are right there in arm's reach of us. What we don't know is how to approach them. What people don't know is how to talk to those sellers. And what they also don't know is how to consistently be on people's mind to help them find them. So that's what we teach in our Deal Finders Club, which is to go become that local house buyer by letting people know. So here's a couple of things. And guys, you got to get a little uncomfortable to make this happen. And you've got to be consistent. So Facebook, just put it out there. Just let people know that you want to buy a house. It sounds so simple. I know people are like, Andrew, where's the trick? This is not a trick. It just works. And Shaun, I know you like 100%. It works.
100%.
Just tell people you're looking for a house. You're looking for something that needs love. And you don't just tell them once, guys. You got to tell them multiple times. Once a week, put it out there just on your regular page. And don't just do a little post. Do a video. Become engaging. What happens is that Facebook feed will sit there and live forever. And people will see it once or twice or 3 times. And then they'll start thinking about you. All right, do that. Then go into some Facebook groups that have real estate investor stuff. You want to put your info in there. That'll get you connected to some wholesalers. But that's not where your primary deal is going to come from. Then you want to make sure that you talk to the people that are closest to you. And this is probably step number 1. Talk to your mom, your brother, your sister, your neighbors. If you're still live in your hometown, start talking to people that you grew up with. Let them know that you're looking for a house, because those people, your parents, the ones that will advocate for you and love you no matter what you do, they will actually go and fight for you. They'll go find you a deal and they'll call you so excited. Like, look, this house across the street from my friend at work is vacant. She told me about it. Let's go check it out. You will literally have bird dogs out there working for you for free just because they love you. So, like, tell them. Most real estate investors are so shy about it because, and Shaun, you know this, I don't know what the stats are. We just heard it the other day. It's like 95% of the people don't even know what real estate investing is. So when one of your listeners is like, yeah, I want to do this, they're the only one in their sphere. They're the only one in their family. They're the only one that is looking. So they feel weird about telling people. Like, they go to Thanksgiving dinner and they don't even talk about real estate, even though that's the only thing they can think about. But they're too shy to mention it because they don't want to be like, because no one else understands it. You got to tell them. Everybody should be at this Thanksgiving, telling their family that they want real estate. So go tell them, get them hunting for you, get your family and friends hunting for deals for you. And I'll tell you the third one that we tell everybody: Craigslist is not dead. Okay. Craigslist is not dead. Post on Craigslist. I can actually give you our Craigslist template that we use for posting. Super easy. Just keep posting on Craigslist and looking for deals in Craigslist. Those are the first 3 things we tell people to do, right? When you start growing your sphere from there, so when your mom, your dad, your cousin, your neighbor, and those people that are closest to you, once you've talked to them and they kind of get it, talk to them a few times, you start asking the question, who do you know that I should know? And then you begin to build your network, build your sphere of influence by warm connections. So ask your mom, who do you know that I should know that does real estate stuff? And then say, oh, can you just introduce me to them? I'd love to Just tell them what I'm doing. So you start building and you go from there, and you build your network. When I say you're the local home buyer in your community, guys, your community is not citywide. It's just the people in your sphere, and you'll start growing that community. Okay, because networks, they're almost, like big clicks. So you want to be that guy in that network that buys houses. And so you build it by talking to people and asking them to help you connect to others. So that's what we tell people. And I'm telling you, if you go do that now, you will find a deal. You will be a deal finder that then you can decide what to do with it. Wholesale it, flip it, fix it, whatever you want to do.
Awesome advice, man.
Does that make
Awesome advice.
I hope that helps. I hope I didn't go too fast.
Not at all. Not at all. And guys, you just heard him say he's going to offer his template that he uses for Craigslist. So that'll be the giveaway. That'll be in the notes section here, guys. So make sure you take advantage of that. And I hope that you guys play this back a couple of times, rewind it. He just literally gave you guys actionable steps that you can take to get started right now, where there's no excuse. There's no excuses that are needed. It doesn't take any revenue. He told you he was driving around and found properties. He made connections by just letting his family and friends know what he was doing. That's what it takes out here. Guys, as a reminder, at any point in this show, if you like what you're hearing, like I just loved what I heard right now, make sure you give us a thumbs up or subscribe to the show so that you never miss an episode. It's your engagement that keeps us doing this absolutely for free for the community. Now, Andrew, let me ask you this. What do you think your life would be like if you never found real estate and you were still working in the hospitality industry?
Oh man, I don't even want to think about that. You're giving me nightmares, man. What is that? um, Gosh, I can't even. So I think I said it in the beginning that we started on making real estate our business, our life, income because of our kids. Because we we had three. They were three that were four and under, right? So we knew we were in for a long ride, and we wanted to be a part of their lives. And so I grew up, my parents, they worked 9 to 5 jobs, right? And it was computer based. Nothing, they never had to do anything at home or after hours or Saturday or Sunday. That is not a reality in today's world. I don't know if there is a job, maybe there is, that where you're making significant money, I get, that actually stops 9 to 5 anymore, or lets you be off Saturday and Sunday. So when in hospitality, I knew that it didn't matter if I wanted to grow in that business. I was going to be sacrificing time with family or mental space with family. The way that what really Michelle, my wife, just didn't like is on Saturdays, although I may not have been at work, I would be getting phone calls, and my brain would be focused on work. Something's going on. We got this thing, whatever. You couldn't turn it off because I was having to deal with a boss that if something happened, now I got to answer to the boss. And that's what made us say, you know what, we don't want to be like this. We don't want to be raising our kids and not be focused on our kids when we're with them. Right. So they go to school, they still go to aftercare. We don't pick them up at 2 o'clock every day. We still work, 9 to 5 or whatever. We're entrepreneurs, so it's 7:30 to 5, but we were able to turn it off. That was the big thing. That was the big thing, that we just turn it off. When we're not here, we're not here, and we can do that. And so if we're with the kids, we're with the kids. If we go to the mountains, we're at the mountains. I'm not checking my phone. She's not checking her phone. We're not having to deal with our bosses or whatever. So that was the big thing for us. And honestly, I don't know. I don't know what would be, if we would even be happy. You know what I mean? I don't know that our family would be happy if we had to keep going like that. That is a scary thought.
That is important. That is huge, Andrew. That is huge, brother. I think you just helped a lot of folks out there kind of put that into perspective. on which was going to be one of my other questions, but you pretty much have answered that, which is what is your biggest why? Like, why do you do this? And you've got to
Yeah.
understand why, guys. You need your time freedom, financial freedom. There's You figure out what your why is, and Andrew definitely just laid out what his why was for us.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. That's it, man. It's the time. It's the time freedom. Financial freedom, you can make money anywhere. But if you don't have time to enjoy life and kids, family, whatever that looks like for you, there's no point.
So true, so true. Andrew, we've come to the part of the show that I like to call the rapid fire session. This is where
Cool.
I'm going to ask you a question, and you tell me the first thing that comes to mind.
Mm, got it. Let's do it.
Let's go. All right. On a scale of 1 to 10, how strict were your parents?
Oh my God. Can I give them a one? No, they weren't that bad. I would give them a three. Um, an interesting dynamic is my wife's parents were definitely, a nine or a 10. So there you go.
Interesting. Get up early or stay up late?
Preference. I am a night owl and I'm born a night owl. I will stay up as I was building this business. I would stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning, building real estate stuff, and then wake the kids up at 6 and then go to work. But my wife is a morning lark. So she's go to bed early, wake up early. So I am trying that. I've been trying that, but it is a struggle to go to bed early. Waking up early is fine. It's to go to bed early that's tough. So there you go.
Which brings us to our next question. How many hours of sleep do you get each night?
So I am fully refreshed on 6. Um, and that's where I function great. I can do 6. And that's pretty much what I get. It depends, depending on what time I go to bed is what time I wake up.
Nice, nice. Favorite or last book read?
Oh man, I am in the middle of a couple of books. I still love Never Split the Difference. It's hard to get off of that one. The things, so many books that have opened my mind to different things. If I had to say book, it would have to be the Bible is the favorite book. Um, Business book would be Never Split the Difference.
Never Split the Difference. Chris Voss, love it. The Bible, guys. If you could be any
Yeah.
superhero, Andrew, who would it be?
Oh, is it cliche to just say Superman because he's the classic? I feel
No.
like that's me. It's classic, just classic Superman.
Superman, Superman. Something that everyone should do less of.
TV,
Something that
watch
everyone should
TV,
do more of.
read.
NFTs, bang or bust.
Oh my God, terrible. There's probably something there. I don't let me tell everybody it's terrible. There's definitely something there, but it wasn't what just happened.
Got it.
Something's going to come of that in the future.
If you had one wish, what would it be?
Oh, one wish. Uh, you know, this I don't know if this is right or not. I really wish that you and I both do this a lot is where you're trying to open people's mind to possibility. I really wish there was an education. I don't know if it's the system or just a belief um, in our society in people that they actually believe in themselves. And maybe it's the lack of trust in God. Maybe that's part of it is belief in God is here for us and belief in things that we can do
Mm-hmm.
so that you and I aren't telling people, guys, this is really real. You can do this. I feel like that's half the things I say is you can do it, do it. And God, it just eats me up that people don't have faith.
Indeed, indeed. Well, Andrew, man, this has been an awesome, awesome episode. What final thought would you want to leave with our audience out there?
Can I go back to that last question? You can do it.
You can do it.
You can do it, guys. Yeah. So it's, and I can't remember the verse. It's 1 Corinthians where David's talking to Saul. It's be strong and do the work. Be courageous and do the work. You can do it.
I love it. Love it. You can do it. Well, Andrew, how can our audience reach you and get more information on what you do and what you offer?
So you can email me. The dealfinders.club is website for getting connected there. You could also go to andrewrlucas.com. In my email, you can actually email me at andrew@lucas. You know what? Let me just change it so it's all one thing. andrew@andrewrlucas.com. If you just email there, you can get a hold of me. I'm available. We have our REI Live group, so we're open to chatting with people all the time, just to get people over the hump. If you got questions, you need help, love to do it.
Love it. Love it. Guys, we've had a great show today. You know, Andrew, I'll make sure that I include all of those links inside of our description so that people have no trouble getting a hold of you. And I want to thank you for sharing so much valuable information with our audience today. Thank you. Thank you so much. And to my listeners out there, Andrew, you guys have all made it to the end of the show with us. So give yourselves a pat on the back, because most people never finish what they start, and you just did. So that's the beginning of a new start for you guys. Now, if you got any value out of today's show, make sure that you share this with a friend or on your Facebook page. Like the video, subscribe to our channel, send us topics you want to learn more about, and make sure that you reach out to us. And if you're in the South Carolina area, make sure to reach out to Michelle and Andrew Lucas. These are awesome folks that run the REI Live in their local community. Great people to connect with. Make sure you connect with them. But until the next time, guys, you can reach me on any one of my social platforms. I'll see you on the other side. Peace.
With this crown on my head, I'm seated on the throne. The top is so alone. Only thing that keeps me going is I know my city love me. I know my city love me.